Train number 3 made this.
Yo, what is going on? It's train number 3 here from number 3 Productions. And look, check this out, bruh. Should DBS, the anime, come back, or should Dragon Ball Daima come back? But before we start, I want to talk about this. They had mentioned that Toriyama was going to be doing his own original manga, which, in my opinion, is basically going to be something outside of Dragon Ball. And in my personal opinion, I think he should go with it. You know, I think it's about that time that he either take a long break from Dragon Ball, or he pass that on to somebody else so they could go in and draw it. You know, because he was filling in the gaps from Toriyama's notes and he was drawing it. You know, who knows? He might be tired. You know, he might want to do his own thing. And I respect that because I'm an author myself. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. You feel me? I made these. I made this myself. You know what I'm saying? And then I made this myself. You know? So I feel it when it comes to, you know, starting fresh and doing something else, you know? But that's pretty much all I had for this topic. Now I'm on to the main topic, where you came, or excuse me. Now it's time for the topic that y'all came here for, that I put on the video. There we go. My bad, y'all. Sometimes I have trouble figuring out what words I want to say and pronouncing them, but be right back. Okay, I'm back. So look, check this out. Should DBS get a season 2 anime and come back, or should Dragon Ball Daima come back with another season? So I'm gonna talk about this from the personal standpoint and from the business slash company slash product perspective, since I have all that. So me personally, I don't want any of them back. Honestly, I want that new manga, that new original manga that Toriyama was talking about, to be animated. That's what I want to see. I mean, honestly, I would pick that over DBS and Daima any day, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Cause I want to see their other works, you know? You feel me? Who knows? It might be just... Who knows? It might be much better than Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Daima. You know? But yeah, in my own personal opinion, a smart move would be to finish up Dragon Ball Daima. Okay? Not only is it Toriyama's last project, but it's the newest Dragon Ball product. Dragon Ball Super is not the newest Dragon Ball product anymore. Dragon Ball Super has already established itself. Dragon Ball Super came out a decade ago. Battle of Gods came out 12 years ago. You know, so now we're on to Dragon Ball Daima. You know, whether half the fandom or most of the fandom, you know, likes it or don't like it, they have a product to push. You know? And then on top of that, it honestly doesn't even matter if DBS or Daima comes back, because either way, you're still going to watch it and you're going to still complain or trip about something. So there's no point on tripping off of, if, let's say, Daima gets a season 2. There's no point on complaining or saying I don't want it when you're going to watch it, when you're going to run those numbers up, you know? And then the other reason why I think that they should do Daima first is so that it could give the staff more time to work on DBS manga arcs, so that way by the time Daima is done, we'll have more arcs, more media, and more stories to animate, you know. And Dragon Ball Super could come back with the best artwork, best animation, and a much higher budget than Daima, you know, because Dragon Ball Daima has a bigger budget than the original Dragon Ball Super anime, you know. So yeah. And the other thing too is, me personally, I believe that Toriyama wrote Dragon Ball Daima first, or at least the concepts, and I think he wanted Daima out for a long time. And the reason why I say that is because there are things in Daima that was in previous guidebooks. So I'll give you an example, right? We have the whole Bibbidi summoned Majin Buu, and instead of creating him, like the Kai said in the Buu saga of Dragon Ball Z. That actually originally came from a guidebook. It's called the Dragon Ball Exciting Guide or Super Exciting Guide, one of them. But they had stated that, and then the Makaioshins, they talked about that in a guidebook back in, I think it was 2009 or 8 or 10, one of them. But my point is that though that stuff from Daima was already out there since 2008, 9, and 10. Which, like I said, makes me believe that Toriyama maybe submitted that one first. You know, Daima actually feels more like a completed, fully Toriyama project. Like he wrote the entire thing compared to Dragon Ball Super, where he just giving notes and these guys are, you know, just filling the gaps in or altering it. Because if y'all remember, DBS Broly was like a 3-hour movie, and they cut, and Toei Animation cut the shit. DBS Broly, DBS Superhero was supposed to be a Piccolo movie. Toei Animation changed it up to Gohan. So that makes me believe that Toriyama never got to do what he wanted to do. You know, maybe Toriyama did submit Daima, but then Toei and Shueisha may have been like, look, that's not what we're looking for. If you want to bring back Dragon Ball, let's do something like this. Because if y'all remember, Battle of Gods, what was actually in production without Toriyama, but Toriyama became a part of the project, add his touches to it, and then we have Battle of Gods. You know, and since Dragon Ball Super has already established itself to the point where no matter what they put out, they're still going to go in and check it out. It really doesn't matter at this point if DBS gets animated or not. And then honestly, as of right now, I don't think it would be worth it, because that's only 2 arcs. That's like 35 or 40 episodes. Me personally, I wouldn't want a Dragon Ball anime to come back with just 40 episodes. I would want at least 60 episodes. You know, whether it's 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, or whatever. You know? And then the other thing too is, it's like, okay, y'all are gonna keep coming back for Dragon Ball, even though y'all know this is not gonna be all that good. Okay? You're gonna watch it, bitch and complain about it, and then when it goes away, y'all want more. But I think I figured out the reason why that the Dragon Ball community wants more Dragon Ball, even though they know or believe it's gonna be trash. It's that we're all looking for that feeling that we had when we first seen Goku turn Super Saiyan, when we seen Gohan turn Super Saiyan 2, when Vegeta used that final explosion, that last ending from Dragon Ball GT, the father-son Kamehameha, heck, even Goku turning Super Saiyan 4 in Dragon Ball GT, the feeling and soul and passion that was in those scenes stuck with us. You know, all those scenes have a special place in our hearts as real, you know, Dragon Ball fans. So I think that we're going into Dragon Ball Super, Daima, or whatever, looking for that. We're looking for that feeling that we had, because this is something that we grew up on as kids, you know. And I'm talking about the OG fans. I'm talking about the ones that actually watched it on Toonami. I'm not talking about watching it on pirated websites. I'm talking about the ones out there that was watching it on the air. You know? So yeah, man. I'm here to tell you that that's not reality. That's a fantasy. That shit, those scenes that we all love, is never, ever, 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 never, never, ever, 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 ever coming back. So give it up. So that's pretty much all I gotta say. Personally, I want that new Totoro original manga to be animated. But from a business, product, and brand standpoint, finish up Daima. So Dragon Ball Super come back with a bombshell. Excuse my stuttering. If the lawsuit is cleared, because as of this recording, I do believe that the Dragon Ball staff are still in a lawsuit and stuff you know. And I had to speak on it from a brand perspective because I have my own brand. You know what I'm saying? Number three Productions, The Grind Never Stops. And then I also have paperwork to my name. Here we go. Paperwork to number three Productions. You know what I'm saying? So I had to speak on both because, you know, I strongly believe that some of us love Dragon Ball so much that we mentally turn into like big ass 5-10-year-olds who just doesn't, you know, see the things from the other perspective. You know, I see Dragon Ball from every perspective, from the comical, the slice of life, the exploration / lore, adventure, and action. Those 5 elements make up a completed Dragon Ball project, whether it's entertaining or not. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Make sure y'all go check out my YouTube channel, number 3 content. I have Sparking Zero What Ifs, have a Vegeta arc, what if Goku and Gohan Black teamed up, you know. You have Super Dragon Ball Heroes continuity, Super continuity, GT, Z continuity, and then you have all of them right here. So I have a flock full of content for you to check out, you know. And I'm going to tell you this now, my what ifs are not like everybody else's that looks cool or on some crazy stuff. The only thing I do is take something that's already there and make it an alternative route. It's very simple. The grind never stops, y'all. It's very, very fun. Make sure you go check out my website at www.number3productions.com. I have comics, one-shot, podcast videos, Twitch live streams, anime videos, music, artwork designs, and much more. The grind never stops. It's just that simple.